Collecting and managing contact details. One of the biggest challenges you'll face when it comes to your social messaging marketing is collecting the contact details of the people that you will be selling to and getting their permission to send them marketing materials. So how do you do this? There are a number of tools and strategies that lend themselves perfectly to using social messaging apps. Here are just a few. Messenger-specific Facebook ads. We touched on this notion already, but essentially it is possible to create Facebook ads where the goal is to trigger a Facebook message. This is a brilliant way to get more people on your list so that you can start contacting them and encouraging conversions. Messenger on your website. The same goes for adding Messenger to your website. By using Facebook's customer chat plugin, you'll be able to directly link Messenger to your website. That means your visitors will be greeted by a pop-up as soon as they arrive, helping guide them to your checkout page. What's great about this is that the stream of the chat will automatically be moved over to Messenger on Facebook, so you can continue right where you left off and find out just why they never clicked buy in the end. Use opt-in. Another option we have already touched on is the opt-in plugin. This is a simple checkbox you'll use on your email landing page that lets them also subscribe to your Messenger. You can likewise do the same thing with WhatsApp in a less direct manner by letting them enter their mobile number and tick a box stating that they're happy to be contacted. Rapportive. As mentioned, Rapportive is a powerful tool for growing your Instagram in-mail contacts in particular. This one works by letting you see the details of anyone that messages you on LinkedIn, so you only have to click to quickly add them to your network. Start up a chat. If someone comments on your post or photo, then you should respond. If this goes to 2 or more returns, then you can always just suggest that you continue the chat on social messaging. The same works for Instagram. Better yet then, why not post on someone else's? Invitation. It might be that a lot of people would happily chat with you or DM you, but the idea simply hadn't crossed their mind. Run a competition or just invite people to get in touch through a post, and you'll find your inbox swells fast. Mobile Monkey. A number of tools, including Mobile Monkey, ManyChat, and What's Help, can help you to generate leads on autopilot. These work by letting you convert anyone who comments on one of your posts to Messenger contacts. Basically, this works by using a bot which will automatically message anyone who answers a set post or question. The message will link back to your post, ensuring they know why they're being contacted and using that same excuse method we have used in person previously. This is a brilliant way to grow your audience without even trying. Customer Match. Customer Match is a tool that uses an API to send messages based on the first name, last name, or phone number. If it finds a match, a person who is on your list but isn't also on your Facebook Messenger, then it will send a request for them to opt in. Conclusions and closing comments. As you can see then, there are countless uses for social messaging apps for marketing and for business in general. I hope that this training has helped to open your eyes to some of those and to think outside the box with the way you use this tool. I hope it has also demonstrated to you just how powerful this tool is and why it absolutely deserves a place in your arsenal. Now you know how to build an audience, message them for the highest chances of success, and use apps and tools to get more out of the strategy. But ultimately, it comes down to good old-fashioned conversation. It's a lost art in the world of internet marketing. If you're among the first to bring it back, then you are almost guaranteed success. What is conversational commerce? Conversational commerce was a term that was initially coined by Uber's Chris Messina. You might know Uber as the taxi company that has absolutely exploded in the last decade, to the point that it has completely disrupted its industry and even gotten some analysts and economists pretty worried. So this guy knows what he's talking about, and social messaging apps are clearly a big part of his strategy. So what does all this mean? How can you employ it in your own strategies? Essentially, conversational commerce describes the rapidly rising trend of interacting between businesses and clients and customers through social apps and tools. This includes custom apps, SMS, and even telepresence like Skype and Zoom. Via these methods, consumers get to discuss matters with company representatives, to get customer support to ask pertinent questions about their products and services, and even make purchases. This completely changes the game in a profound way that may help to take your business to a completely different level. Why? Because you can now speak directly with a customer one-to-one. While this might seem like a lot of effort, it does several things for your relationship. 1, it reassures your customers and clients that your business is run by real people and that they will be able to get a hold of you. This is huge because it means that if someone were to have a problem with a product or service, they would be able to get in touch and get a useful response and hopefully have the issue resolved. This in turn creates a huge amount of additional trust in your business, meaning that they are far more likely to click buy and take a risk with their hard-earned cash. 2, It creates a sense of gratitude and obligation. Most of us are fairly humble. While there are certainly some entitled individuals out there, and we will discuss how to deal with these types in future videos, most people actually don't expect to get an answer from a big organization or company. We tend to think of professional organizations as being somehow more important than us, and as such, we are shy about asking for advice. When a company actually takes the time to respond to a question, or even to send a marketing message in some cases, this can show that they care about the individual. Humbled, they might then feel somewhat obligated to buy, or at least feel far more inclined to, viewing your business as having earned them. 3. You can deal with issues and barriers to sale head-on. A barrier to sale is anything that prevents a customer from wanting to do business with you. So, for example, if someone were unsure which product out of a selection was right for them, then they might choose not to buy. But by using chat, you can then answer the question for them, point them in the right direction, and hopefully fill them with lots of confidence that will help them to make a purchase. You can even get the process started. That is to say, you can help someone begin filling out a form or even talk them through the checkout process. The answer to that question is X. Product Y should be able to help you with that. Would you like me to add it to your cart? This can drastically increase your conversion rate while also serving the client and giving them a good experience. 4. You can get feedback and very useful information. A very strong example might be to ask, I see you were looking at product X but didn't buy. What could I do to change your mind? This can go as far as to convert an otherwise lost customer into a buyer. If not, it can give you valuable information that you can use to improve your products in future and increase your chances of making more sales next time. Generating goodwill. Another fantastic benefit of using conversational commerce is that it allows you to generate goodwill. One of the secrets to success in business is to over-deliver. That's to do more than you promise and more than you have to, and thereby to pleasantly surprise the customer. People love being surprised in this manner. To do this, you can try messaging someone to wish them happy birthday, to thank them for buying from you, or to check if they have access to everything that they need or thank them for signing up to the site. Make this a personal message, and they will likely be extremely touched that you took the time out. I still remember as a child once signing up to a newsletter for a game I liked, Abe's Odyssey, and then getting a card from the company on my birthday. This was huge for me as a young fan. While this might be impossible for some businesses to replicate owing to financial and time constraints, it's certainly not impossible to consider sending a Facebook message. And people will really appreciate that and remember your business as a result. How to reach out. Of course, the problem with conversational commerce is starting that conversation in a way that doesn't upset or insult the user. Drop-off rates are huge when companies start sending unsolicited messages, and this is something that companies should think hard about. The good news is that there are plenty of ways to safely start this kind of conversation. One is to wait for the individual to contact you through your Facebook page or your website. A chatbot on your website can also help you do this. Another is to get them to sign up and opt in to your message using the buttons we described before. You can also wait for them to contact you and then message them back. Another great strategy is to respond to a message that someone leaves on your wall, but privately. All these things work, and we'll discuss them in future videos. For now, though, just know that there are plenty of good ways you can reach out to your clients and customers to begin this kind of conversational commerce, meaning you can take advantage of all those huge benefits we've touched on so far. Or you can start selling directly. Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, the big ones. Now you know a bit about why you should be getting involved in social messaging for your business. The next question is what apps and tools you should be using to do that. In this video, we'll look at the top options. Facebook Messenger. This is a big one. Facebook Messenger is used by 1.3 billion people, which is a large percentage of people on the planet. Despite this, only 31% of businesses are currently using Facebook Messenger for marketing purposes. That should tell you that this is a huge untapped potential, and that right now you can very easily stand out among the crowd. Facebook Messenger is so powerful thanks to its many different features and tools, not to mention its amazing integration with Facebook itself. Here are just some of the things you can do with Facebook Messenger. Get contacted directly from your page. With Facebook Messenger, anyone who views your page will be able to easily get in touch and message you. This is a fantastic ready-made sales funnel. You can create and share a post from your page, or even post an ad. This will generate more traffic to your page, where you can promote your product, and then all the customer has to do is click the button to send you an IM. Facebook Ads. Facebook Messenger now also integrates beautifully with Facebook Ads. Specifically, you can set Facebook Messenger as a call to action, meaning that as soon as someone clicks your ad, they will be taken to Messenger where they can get in touch. This is powerful stuff. Call contacts. If you're speaking to someone through Facebook Messenger and you think there's a high chance of making a sale, then Messenger will allow you to very easily contact that person to make a sale or strengthen your relationship with that lead. Employ bots. We'll look at this more in a future video, but by using bots, you can answer questions that your visitors have automatically and thereby provide the kind of one-to-one service that you perhaps don't have the resources to provide otherwise. This can help to direct your visitors down a sales funnel, and it can also help make your business look far more attentive in the way it handles queries and visitors. Add to your website. You can easily add a Facebook chat box to your website, which will make it easy for you to collect new contacts and at the same time to add new people to your list. Plugins. Facebook has some very powerful plugins that will easily integrate with a WordPress website. One of the best is the Checkbox plugin. This allows you to collect contacts to receive messages from you or a bot in Messenger and to get their permission. This means you can collect information in just the same way that you would be collecting it for an email mailing list. In fact, you can combine both those things at once. Another great plugin is the Send to Messenger plugin. This one triggers an authentication event in your webhook, allowing you to pass data to know the user that clicked the link. The Message Us plugin works as you might expect to, allowing users to start up a conversation with you or your bot from anywhere on your site by clicking a button. Facebook is predominantly intended as a platform for social interactions with existing, real-world contacts. That means friends and family. Users often don't take that kindly to being messaged by businesses, and likewise, Facebook itself will clamp down on companies that abuse the service. But although all of that is true, it's also very true that sending lots of messages in this way has become somewhat more commonplace. People expect it on Facebook to an extent, and in many cases, the client or customer will actually initiate the conversation with the business. For those reasons, you might find that Facebook offers a slightly more receptive audience than some other platforms. WhatsApp. WhatsApp has a lot of strong things going for it when it comes to social message marketing, but also a few drawbacks that can leave some businesses understandably apprehensive. The big benefit, of course, is that WhatsApp is about as raw and immediate as any form of marketing can be. WhatsApp is a platform that we predominantly use in order to talk with friends and family. These days, most of us will use it instead of SMS. Thus, when we get a message on WhatsApp, we will almost always check it immediately. From there, a message from a business is going to stand out to a large extent. WhatsApp also has a number of useful features just like Facebook. You can embed links and media in messages, and you can call people using Wi-Fi. The other great thing about WhatsApp is that all you need to start messaging someone on it is their number. If you have their mobile number, you'll be able to add them on the platform and get in touch. Whereas Facebook Messenger requires the use of ready-made plugins, then you'll be able to add someone on WhatsApp without explicitly gaining permission or using any third-party tools. Though, you should not like to do the former, except for in extreme cases. The best way to collect contacts for WhatsApp is to simply ask your customers or your leads to fill in their mobile number when they fill out any other form. You can then include a checkbox stating that it's okay, or otherwise, for you to message them that way. Of course, you still need to be very careful here. A lead must be highly engaged to be happy with a WhatsApp message, especially as they may well have forgotten that they ticked the box. The other option is to let customers contact you through WhatsApp for various purposes. This works in just the same way as providing a phone number for a customer or a client to call if they have questions, except you will handle the conversation through WhatsApp. Many people find this very reassuring, as they might be anxious of speaking in person, whereas WhatsApp lets them get answers without having to speak up or get out of their comfort zone. As we go through this training, we'll see more potential uses of every type of social messaging platform, including WhatsApp. The power of social messaging apps. Perhaps the question should not be why use social messaging apps, but rather, why isn't everyone already doing it? What is it about this form of marketing that has made it such a little-known secret among top marketers? Perhaps it's because, as with so many things, creators are too determined to focus on quantity over quality. What does that mean? Essentially, many creators will consider a marketing strategy only if they think it can make a huge impact on their numbers. They want ROI. They want their hard work to pay off. And so, focus on the kind of work that is easily quantifiable. Here, social messaging falls down a little. After all, you will typically only send a WhatsApp to one person at a time. And that person is an already established lead. It is someone whose number you already have in your database, which means it's someone who already knew about your business. Therefore, WhatsApp involves engaging in a lot of effort in order to send a message to just one person who is already on your list. Your numbers don't go up, and your marketing department has nothing to show for their work. Compare that to a single Facebook post, which, in theory, can lead to thousands of new contacts in a matter of hours, and it becomes apparent that social messaging apps just don't have quite the same appeal for a lot of companies. But that is entirely missing the point. The point of social messaging apps is not to try and get a large quantity of new customers. Rather, it is about building the quality of your existing leads. And it's about conversions. Developing relationships. A lead is a customer, client, or potential customer or client that you have a relationship with. This is someone that you can contact, meaning that you own their contact details, and meaning that they are already familiar with your business. In most cases, they should already have given you permission to message them. When we buy from a company, we will typically go through 4 stages, which are commonly referred to by marketers as AIDA. That means awareness, interest, desire, action. That's awareness of the product, interest in the product, desire for the product, and then the final purchase. If you think of traditional social media marketing techniques as being predominantly aimed at the first 2 points, social messaging marketing is about the latter 2. What's more is that social messaging helps to increase familiarity, trust, and authority. 3 things that help to lubricate the process and encourage a lead to move from the first stage to the latter. You'll collect leads by making sales, by getting customers to sign up for various newsletters, etc., and through the use of chatbots and comments. We will discuss all of these topics later in the training. But once you have the lead, you can't just expect that to lead to sales. And nor should you immediately dive in and try to sell something. Think of this a little like dating. Imagine that you have noticed someone in a bar, awareness, gotten to talking, interest, and then given them your number. They are now a lead. What do you do next? You message them. Wait for them to message you, and you might well have lost that prospective date entirely. Worse is if you invite them over for sex. They hardly know you. So all they're going to do is get creeped out, delete your number, and potentially call the police if you bother them again. Not good. You can't ask for a big transaction like this without first establishing rapport, trust, and mutual attraction. You know what else doesn't work? Sending the new prospective date a series of automated emails designed to work for every type of person. It's not exactly personal, and they'll smell this a mile off. They're not getting to know you any better. Sales is the same. If you wait for a sale to just happen once you have your lead, then you will likely lose that person. Likewise, you can't expect someone simply knowing about your business to be enough to then try to sell to them. Even showing moderate interest is not enough. They have to not only desire the product or service, but also feel safe in the knowledge that if they pay you, you will deliver. They need to believe that the product or service will be just as you describe it. And they need to know you're not going to then sell your contact details. How do you get someone to know you in both scenarios? You message them, and you have an actual conversation. This is huge. There are other reasons that you might be worried about using Messenger or WhatsApp in business. Perhaps you're concerned about privacy, or perhaps you don't know how to go about it. Well, don't worry. All of that is going to be explained and fixed over the coming videos. You'll learn how to get people to give you their contact details willingly and then contact you in order to ask just the right questions that will allow you to sell to them. More benefits. Convenience and immediacy. On top of this, text or instant messaging marketing is a form of marketing that occurs right in our pockets. This means you'll be reaching people when they're out and about or when they're browsing the web during the day. This has a much more sensitive temporal aspect. And that means that if you message people during Saturday afternoon, there's a chance that they'll look at it while they're out shopping, which isn't generally the case even with email, which we normally assume can wait. That means you may even influence their buying behavior there and then. No need for them to remember anything in the first place. Marketing to short people. These days, nearly everyone is texting from nippers to seniors, which makes text marketing a viable option no matter what your business is. However, it's also worth noting that some demographics use mobile phones even more than others, and generally these are quite desirable demographics, specifically teenagers with a healthy disposable income. This means that you're reaching out to an audience that have few financial commitments, but are starting to get money in their wallets. Better yet, most teens these days are using smartphones like iPhones, which means that even if they aren't out shopping, they'll be able to head online and visit your site there and then, especially as smartphones handily turn URLs into hyperlinks that open in the native browser. Combine this with multimedia benefits of smart messaging, and you have a whole world of marketing possibilities. Facebook reach is shrinking. There's another reason that more and more people are turning to Messenger and other forms of instant messaging. Facebook's organic reach has massively shrunk. There was a time that you could post something to your Facebook group, and you would then find that a large number of people who followed you would see it. Today, that's not quite so true. Users started getting fed up with only seeing posts from businesses and never seeing anything from their friends. And as such, Facebook adapted and started showing fewer business posts. The fact that this also drove more companies to use their expensive advertising platform was a nice added bonus. Thus, companies are looking for other ways to reach Facebook's community. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through instant messaging. Best practices for building relationships and making sales. How successful you are when you message someone on a social messaging app will come down partly to how you conduct yourself and your communication skills. Keep in mind that you are messaging someone through a platform that is ostensibly meant for friends and family, and that they may take offense at this. This is a delicate line to walk then, and you need to be careful about how you phrase your messages in order to get the best response. Use their name and be personal. A lot of bulk email services and programs will allow you to insert the name of the person you are emailing, which, of course, will help them to spot the message in their inbox. We have been conditioned to look for our name in blocks of text, and so this is a good way to make your message stand out initially. Don't overdo this one, though. It has been used a lot, and so it's actually starting to be seen as a sign that a message is a piece of marketing. "Hey, John," is a subject line that John is seen too often, so use it subtly and creatively. Using their title or mentioning something about them like the website they own can be more effective, for instance. The same goes for your social messaging. Try to refer to the individual by name to demonstrate that you are not just sending out large amounts of spam content without giving any thought to who is on the receiving end. Another tip in this same vein is to try and do your research where possible. If someone messages you on Facebook through your page, you can view their profile in order to get an idea of who they are and what their interests might be. Involve them. Using the recipient's name or details is one way to make them feel involved and make them assume that the message is actually relevant to them. There are other ways to involve them, though, too, and all of these can be equally as powerful, if not more so. One method, for instance, is to ask for advice. If your message says something like, "Could you please help me come up with some ideas?" then you'll find you get a surprising number of readers. People love being asked for help or advice. We're all narcissists deep down. But more to the point, this is the kind of strategy that we're not used to seeing from businesses, and that makes it pique our interest more. Be honest. Another strategy is just to be honest, but to set yourself apart. People are pretty savvy and desensitized these days when it comes to things like email marketing or social messaging. So rather than trying to get in under their radar, why not just say, "I have something great to offer, and I think you should take a look." It's refreshing, it's honest, and when they do click on the link to open it, they're going to be much more open to whatever you're selling than they would be if they felt they had been tricked. Likewise, when someone signs up to your messenger, make sure they do so under no false pretenses. You intend on selling to them, then say that. Cold sales. Every now and then, you might decide you want to try messaging a potential lead cold. That means that they have not given you any explicit or implicit permission to message, and you are not in any way continuing a conversation or answering something they sent. When doing this, it is still important to ensure that you have permission to contact the individual and that they are genuinely engaged and interested in your brand. It's also important to keep your message short, brief, and to the point. Start with a phrase like, "as a loyal customer," or "thank you for liking our page." This can help to get the conversation off on the right foot and can help to explain away the message out of the blue a little. You should still keep your messages extremely short and should aim to ask one question in them. This way, you will get them to engage. That question should be something interesting, and it should be something that they can answer quickly with a yes or no answer. Interestingly, you may have more luck if you try to get them to answer no rather than yes. This is because we are asked to say yes to marketing messages too often and have become desensitized. Answering no feels different and makes us sit up and take notice. For example, asking, "Can you spare a moment?" is less likely to be successful than asking, "Are you busy right now?" Chatbots. Imagine this scenario for a moment. It shouldn't be too far-fetched, seeing as it is the precise scenario a client of mine found themselves in. This client had a successful fitness blog and YouTube channel. They'd done a fantastic job of building their audience and also increasing engagement to the point that people really wanted to connect and interact with them. As such, their Facebook page grew pretty much all on its own. This led to them getting lots of messages on Facebook from people who wanted to compliment them on their work, ask questions, and even ask if they were available for personal training. But this person had multiple business interests. They were also running several other online businesses, and they spent a lot of time coaching clients, writing training programs, and running the blog and YouTube. Those questions went unanswered. This had two big impacts. It hurt the content creator's reputation by making them appear to not care about their audience. They would quickly gain a reputation among their followers as someone that didn't answer fans, and that therefore was not worth messaging. Engagement was dropping. It meant that they would miss out on a huge number of potential clients, which could have been enough to allow them to drastically increase their rates. After all, these clients were so keen on the idea of getting training from them that they sought them out through Facebook and messaged them personally. This is an extremely qualified lead, and someone who would likely be happy to pay a lot for a good service. The solution that I provided was to get a chatbot. The chatbot would then man the messenger and be able to answer simple questions. What's more is that it could politely explain to users that the person was inundated with messages and, unfortunately, had a hard time answering everyone directly. However, if they wanted a consultation, they could do so by signing up at X address. This created a simple sales funnel using entirely existent materials that quickly helped the client of mine to develop a massively successful business model. They gained a lot of new leads, which allowed them to drastically increase the amount they charged for training sessions. In turn, they were able to spend less time writing programs and more time working on the content of the site, which in turn helped them to increase their exposure even more. Today, that client is an Instagram influencer that gets paid thousands of dollars to wear sports gear during workouts. It worked out okay for them. Selling directly. Here's something else you may not have realized you could do with a social messaging campaign. Process orders entirely through your app. Several companies are now doing this, even using chatbots to completely automate the process. In particular, this option is popular among restaurants and fast food joints. Taxi firms are also embracing the concept. Here, the customer will usually already have an account with the business that has their delivery address and payment details stored. They will then send a message through Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or a bespoke app, see the next video, stating that they would like to order food. This will then begin a scripted sequence where the bot will ask which items, what sizes, toppings, extras, when they'd like it, and how they'd like to pay. They will then ask the user to confirm, and within a minute, the transaction will be over. This is a very natural, easy, and fast way for people to buy from you, and that makes them instantly more inclined to take that strategy. It is also a very modern approach that can help you to improve your reputation, and companies such as ClickSend make this very quick and simple to set up. Dear valued customer, would you like to discover a shortcut to tap into the full potential of social messaging apps? If so, pay close attention to this very limited, special offer. You will only see this once. First off, thanks so much for purchasing the guide that will teach you all the skills you need to start to tap into the full potential of social messaging apps. If you follow the step-by-step guide, you'll be heading straight to that goal. But what if you could do it even faster? And what if you could ensure that you get the absolute best results possible and stay focused? In short, making sure that this is a real success. Now the good news is that you can. For a limited time, you can get access to the video upgrade to the guide you just purchased at a very low price. This powerful upgrade will make it easier to get started and stay committed to your ultimate goal. Just to be clear, this is an exclusive upgrade for customers only. Why do you need to upgrade to the video version of the Social Messaging Apps for Marketers guide? Did you know that most people learn a lot faster when they see something being done on video other than just by reading about it? That's because most people out there are visual learners. How do you normally learn the best? Although the guide you just purchased gives you a step-by-step approach to tap into the full potential of social messaging apps, experience tells us that it requires learners to pay very close attention to the details to get the best results possible. If you miss any of the most important details or do things the wrong way, you may miss out on the full benefits offered inside the guide. For that very reason, I've put together a video version to make it easier to get positive results quickly. The video version of the guide you just purchased will help you. Avoid missing any important key details that you might miss by only reading the guide. Stay focused and accountable, and follow through and make sure you get ongoing results. Ensure that the work you put in now keeps on giving you benefits long into the future. Introducing Social Messaging Apps for Marketers video course. Are you ready to learn all the skills you need to tap into the full potential of social messaging apps a lot faster? If the answer is yes, click the link below. Of course, you're probably wondering how much this is going to cost, right? First off, cost is the wrong word. This upgrade is an investment that will pay for itself many times over. This is the next best thing to having an expert on a subject right beside you, showing you how it's done. Of course, hiring an expert would easily set you back hundreds of dollars. Luckily, you're not going to have to invest anywhere near that today to get the next best thing. Not only will you avoid many of the most common mistakes that people make when trying to tap into the full potential of social messaging apps, you'll notice immediate positive results in your achievements. And it's about to get even better. When you upgrade today, you'll also get this exclusive fast action bonus Fast Action Bonus high-quality MP3s of the entire video version of the training, valued at $27. Don't have time to watch videos? I'm also providing you with 10 MP3s that you can use while you're on the go. Listen to them in the car, at home, or even at the office. All day, every day. And here's what's really great about this. You don't have to decide anything today. You get a full 30 days to go through the video training and decide if this is really for you. If for any reason, or no reason at all, you're not 100% satisfied with everything you get inside, simply let me know and I'll refund every penny of your tiny investment, no questions asked. Here's how to get instant access to the video version today. Simply click the link below, enter your information, and you'll get instant access to the entire video training version plus the Fast Action Bonus MP3s. But please, don't wait. You must grab this right now. In fact, if you close this page, you may never have the opportunity to upgrade to the video version of this ever again at an investment this low. Are you ready to make things happen a lot faster? If you prefer to learn by being shown how to do something and you want to get results quickly, this is for you. If you're really serious about tapping into the full potential of social messaging apps, this is for you. And if you're one of those people that's a visual learner, you need this. Here's to becoming the most productive you that you can be. Remember, if you close this page, you may never see this again at such a low investment. There's no risk. Try this out for 30 days and then decide if it's for you. It doesn't get any easier than that.